So if you're watching this training, it means that the challenge which you're currently facing that's holding you back from doing those 10 and 20K months is simply that you can't get enough calls booked in the calendar. You know who it is you're trying to work with. You've probably worked with high ticket clients in the past. You've sold high ticket. You've got the sales ability and the sales skills, but you're just not getting calls booked in the calendar. Right now, we're going to get really clear on this call of the exact strategies. I'm going to show you exactly what we do with our paid clients, with our mentorship clients, where we work with them hand in hand. But throughout this training, I want to give you insights into this whole process. Okay, so really pay attention. And by going through this training start to finish, you're going to see the exact lead generation strategies and outreach processes, but you're also going to see the magnetic marketing processes. And when you bring these two pieces together, the attraction elements, but also the action elements of proactively doing outreach, you're going to be able to fill your calendar with ready to buy prospects. Okay, so buckle up, jump into this video because it's going to be a good one. Cheers. So if you're watching this video and you've heard me explain that after years of speaking with countless different coaches, I've observed that there can only be 3 problems that are really keeping coaches stuck from doing 10 and 20K months. So if right now you're below that 20K month mark, one of the 3 is likely the reason why you've not yet done that. So if you're trying to break through and scale your business and not only achieve the kind of financial freedom, but also achieve location freedom, time freedom, etc., understand that solving all 3 of these problems are the keys to those outcomes that you actually desire and that freedom that you desire for yourself. Those 3 blocks are offer. You know, most people that I speak to, they're so early on in this process, they haven't really worked with many clients yet. So they don't really know what they're offering. And even more so, they don't really know who they're actually targeting, right? So that's a huge piece. But if you're watching this, that's likely not the challenge that you're facing. It's more likely that your challenge is either sales, so you're getting calls booked in, but you're not actually closing enough people, so you're facing all these different objections. And if you're sick of facing objections, DM me the word sales on Instagram, and I'm going to send you a secret sales training that's actually just for clients, but I'm going to get you access to that. So you could basically cut out the finance objection. You can cut out objections like time to think about it, let me speak to my partner for good. But if you're watching this training right now, it means that the specific problem that you're facing is lead gen. You're simply not getting enough calls booked in the calendar with the right kind of prospects in order to scale your business. Now, if you see here, so the first thing we need to do is actually get clarity. How many calls do you need? And then later in this training, in the next 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to lay out the exact marketing and lead generation strategies to fill your calendar with buyers, not just prospects, but the kind of people who actually want and need your service. Okay. So firstly, let's get clear on how many calls it is you actually need in the calendar to hit your goals. So assuming that you have a high ticket price point, so 3K and above, you only need to sell 4 to 5 people a month to do 10K cash. Okay. So further, now we got to calculate how many people you need to pitch and how many calls you actually need. Now, I had a conversation point for a different video is that the average closing rate in the online coaching space is 10%. And if your closing rate was 10%, which again is the average, you'd likely need 60 to 80 calls a month, which is bad, right? That's a lot of calls. But the average closing rate for clients of mine is 70, right? If we assume at 50%, so worst case scenario, we presume a 50% closing rate for you, and you need to close 4 to 5 people, we're talking about needing to pitch 10 people a month. Maybe you're going to need to get 15 calls every month. That's totally doable. We're talking about less than 5 calls a week. Totally doable, whether you've got a large audience, right? And everything is organic. Everything I'm talking about is through organic marketing. And we're going to look at those exact organic lead generation strategies. So I have clients that are doing this that have hundreds of thousands of followers. And I have clients that are doing this that have less than 1,000 followers. And so, for example, Ollie Olds is a client of mine who will pull up on screen here. In total, he is less than about 2,000 followers, right? And he's able to follow this process to get 4 to 5 calls booked in every week with the right kind of prospects. And this is through, again, organic marketing. And in Ollie's case, It's actually through cold outreach, okay? Many clients who have larger audiences, they're going to leverage more warm outreach and warm marketing methods. But Ollie's able to do this with, again, a 3K offer and using cold outreach, okay? And again, as you saw, Ollie has this tiny, tiny audience, and he's still able to make this happen. So having a low follower count has nothing to do with revenue in the business. Okay, so jumping in here, how many calls is it you actually need? Well, you need to close 4 to 5 people a month. 50% closing rate means you need to pitch 10. That means we need 15 calls a month, maybe 5 a week, or a little bit less, okay? And again, as I said, Ollie, client of mine, is able to do this, and he's got only a few thousand followers, okay, or 700 on this account right here. Okay, so how is it we actually get calls booked in the calendar? Well, if we zoom out here and jump over into this new tab, okay, I mentioned this a moment ago. If you're seeing this training, you've probably already seen the warm and cold outreach strategies. So this is right out of our playbook, all about seductive marketing. So most people have this idea of magnetic marketing. They're just going to put out content and their ideal client is going to chase them down. But if we think of male and female kind of courting dynamic, it's of course the man's responsibility to take the approach. And in business, you need to be the man. You can't be sitting back like a pussy, right? We've got to be proactive and actually start those conversations. So how is it you start those conversations? Right? It's everything that's featured in this training. So go to salescale.com/leads if you want to get access to our full lead generation strategies and a full 15-minute training that breaks down the process A to Z. So you can actually craft your outreach process. Now, if you're watching this video, you've probably already been through that. But what I really want to stress here is just like we see here in seductive marketing, yes, it is our responsibility to actually take action. But the first thing a prospect is going to do when they get a cold DM from us is they're going to see our Instagram page. They're going to check us out and they're going to see, are we legit effectively? And that's an instantaneous reaction that's going to happen in the prospect. So it's really so important that you're positioned in the right way. We need to be positioned authoritatively. We need to have your Instagram set up in a way where you're flexing these client results from start to finish, where you have a mission statement in the bio or who you actually help. Okay, we need authority pieces in the bio and on this page. This right here, from my name down to the second row of content, this is all above the fold. And this is our prime real estate. We need all of this real estate effectively to be optimized, to position us as well as possible. The prospect doesn't care about like your gym routine or what books you recommend or your story until they see us as an authority. So first things first is we need to be positioned as an authority, because you could steal these exact scripts and execute them the exact same way that I do or my team does. But if you're not positioned in the right way, prospects will not give you the light of day. They won't give you a millimeter. They won't give you a second. Okay, so we need to be positioned in the right way in order to firstly capture their attention. We secondly need to retain their attention. This capturing of attention is all about authority. And this is going to happen in a fraction of a second. They're going to either see you as an authority or not. Much like when a man sees a woman, we are instantly attracted or not. They're instantly going to see you as an authority or basically as a faker. So it's so important to have your Instagram profile positioned correctly, to lay out your client results in the highlights tabs, to have a mission statement in the bio, to speak exactly to who you help and how you do it, and to have your profile flooded with proof and more proof of different clients you've worked with in the past and the results that you've got them. And then lastly, on the note of positioning, okay, this is a really important piece in seductive marketing, and that is the 3 keys to a cult-like following. So we have a vision for the future, we have a unique mechanism, and we have the charismatic leader. And if you haven't already seen different trainings of mine about that, go onto my YouTube channel and look for how Andrew Tate created a cult-like following. But this is what we want to capture in those pinned posts. We want to communicate your hero's journey. Okay, so we want to position you not only as an authority, but we also want to tell your story in a way that shows the prospect that you face the exact same problems that they have. So we don't want to put you on a pedestal. Rather, we want to flex all this authority at the start so we get their attention, but then we want to show them that you face the exact same problem so you can retain that attention and create relatability and ultimately begin to actually persuade. Okay, so this is Seductive Marketing 101. And what you're going to do in those pinned pieces of content, you're going to communicate your hero's journey. You're going to communicate your unique mechanism, and you're going to communicate who you help and how you help them. You're going to communicate how their life can be different as a result of your process. And when you do this effectively, not only can you do mass outreach to target your ideal client, but the moment they get that DM, they're going to be instantaneously attracted to you, because not only are you positioned as an authority, as somebody who has the proof to back up their claims, but you're going to communicate and show them that you face those same challenges that they're currently facing. And in that, you have that authority, but also connection. And that is essential when it comes to creating that deep connection with your audience and positioning them for the high ticket sale. So to wind this training up, understand that we have two pieces of this puzzle. On the right-hand side, we have the action element of seductive marketing, and this is proactively taking action and doing your outreach. But on the other side, we have all of these attraction elements, telling your hero's journey, flexing your client results, and showing them that you can actually help. When you bring these two elements together, my friend, not only are you going to be able to book prospects in on a call, but by the time they're actually on that sales call with you, they've developed that deep connection, and they already see you as somebody who can help. So if you want to be able to do this step by step, by all means, take the slow route and try and piece it together on the basis of this video and all of my other material. If you want step-by-step support with this to craft this for yourself and be walked hand in hand through this process, jump on a call with me. Obviously, this is the kind of work I do with clients. If you get onto a one-to-one strategy session with me, I'll map this out with you one-to-one on that strategy session. And as a result, you can either choose to get our support to actually implement it, or you can simply go about trying to implement that process yourself. So drop me a DM on Instagram, and I'll see you on that session.